All right. Before we begin, ASMR. Who has a can besides me?
No, I'm finishing off this bottle of chard.
Ew. Never mind ASMR here. To compensate.
Oh, these are my new headphones, by the way, guys. Look.
Oh, guys.
Ooh,
look.
nice. RGB.
Guys, look.
Look. My cousin got them for me. They're so nice.
You stretch your neck out so far. It's like
It goes with my rap.
All right, so hello and welcome to the Something Dumb Podcast, episode 3. Hooray! Everyone, go clap or something.
Clap?
No, nothing. Celebration. We made it to 3 episodes, and we're not, canceled yet.
Who's gonna cancel us?
I don't know. So someone's gonna watch us and be like, cancel.
All 4 viewers.
I'm your host, as usual, the cringiest of cringe, Cornell. With me today, as always, is Aldo and Alino, and of course, a very new guest, Kim herself, Kimberly Joe at twitch.com/ is that your still? No?
I don't know. Actually, I haven't streamed in a while. I don't even know what my Twitch is.
But you market yourself so well as like a gamer girl streamer. What happened?
I don't know about that. I don't know if I market myself as a gamer girl that well. Honestly.
I mean, all you talk about is Valorant. That's all I'm saying.
When was the last time I talked about Valorant? Tell me.
I'm just kidding.
I got you. November 4th, 2020.
Oh, you're right.
Right now?
To the group chat.
The last thing you
Evidence
said
right
was...
there. All right, so lads, for today's topics, we have obviously our standard, which is a movie that you've seen in the past week that you really liked, movies that are going to come out this year that you're anticipating for or would like to watch, and of course, the Soul review, which is the title of this episode. So, for Kim, since you are a new guest of the show, we'll have you last because your question for this conversation topic is going to be different. Let's start with Aldo, since before the intro you were saying you've watched 4 movies?
I did watch 4 movies, but only 2 of them were new. So the first movie I watched was The Big Short, which I was showing to my sister because I was like, yo, nobody else wants to watch this with me. And so I rewatched that, loved it again, and then I watched The Big Sick, which is almost the same title.
I'm sensing a theme here. Yeah. Are you looking for something big in your life right now? What's going on?
I
don't know.
tend to get those mixed up, TBH, even though they're totally different movies.
Mm-hmm. That one was a romantic comedy, and I've already seen it before, and I liked it. And then I watched it again, and my sister liked it too, so that was good. And then I watched Boogie Nights, which
the
I think
90s?
you were telling us about that.
The 90s film? Wait.
Yeah. I think it's a 90s film.
Really?
It's P.T. Anderson, and if I'm being honest, I don't like any of his movies. This might be my favorite one, tied with Punch Drunk Love, but I don't like his movies, even though they're all renowned good movies. Don't like the pacing. I think a lot of the stories he tells I'm not interested in. This one's really weird because it's about this guy that pretty much is going nowhere in life, and this porn director scouts him and pretty much turns him into a porn star.
Okay, you did say porn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Porn. Yeah, and that's what the movie's about. Yeah, adult film.
Pornography. It's like
The
these
Big P.
These videos on the internet, Cornell. I don't know if you heard it, but
Yeah.
Do you have some recommendations? Do you have some recommendations, sir? Is there any sites I should go to?
Sir, I don't participate in such activities.
It was just in the
you're
movie.
a Christian man, right? You're a Christian man. I'm sorry.
It was just in the movie. I don't do that. But you know what was so funny about this movie was they keep talking about because it's Mark Wahlberg, right?
Hmm.
And throughout the movie they keep talking about how he has like a giant schlong, and
Okay.
you never see it in the movie, even though you see like a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
And then at the end of the movie, they show it, and it's this like 13-inch thing.
Oh.
And
Wait.
so naturally, I had to look up if Mark Wahlberg was actually
Okay.
that long. You know,
Yeah, that
it
was
was
my
actually
follow-up.
it was a prosthetic.
Oh, piss! Oh, that's disappointing.
I mean,
I thought you
were
are there
gonna-
even ever like, is this actually a thing though? Like, do people have 13-inch long? Ding dong.
Have you looked at porn?
I mean, some of them look really big, but I don't know about 13-inch.
I mean, you can just like go on
Let me
Pornhub
Google
and
this.
look up 13-inch
Alright,
penis.
I
and see
do
what
want to say
happens.
there's a small percentage of people, if anything.
Yeah, no, okay. There's definitely like, you know,
I don't know, man. I've seen a good amount of porn
Oh.
where like the length is like
no, it's because I mean, where do they get the mold? You know?
the mold. Someone
Yeah,
creates
for
it.
like for. But it's
I know
like
what
so
you mean.
realistic.
How
Yeah.
do you, how do you know how to shape it and stuff? You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't
Reference?
know.
Reference.
I just they
One
told
day
me.
we'll-
These are
one
the
day we'll
questions
have
people would
a-
like to know.
One day we'll have a prosthetics artist on.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, we learned through Soul that they had a shading artist.
Okay, we can't talk about soul and porn at the same time.
Why not? Why not?
Mm-mm.
It's gonna be the same episode either way, so fuck it.
I guess.
Alito.
Okay, and
Oh, sorry.
wait. Oh, am I done? Am I
That's
done?
last one.
I,
You
I
have
had
Do you
one
have one
more.
more thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Well,
go
I
ahead.
guess 5 if the one we're talking about.
Oh.
I watched 5, but the 4th one was Lost in Translation, which I watched this morning.
Wait, the early 2000s one?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
one.
How did that hold up?
It was okay. I liked it because of like the idea of traveling. I thought
Oh.
okay. But yeah. No, it was okay. I was definitely expecting a lot more just because of what I've heard. But I felt like it didn't really have like a low point like in the movie, and so I was never like really like down. I was just kind of like going through the motions of the movie. I was like, and then yeah, I don't want to ruin it if anybody wants to watch it, but
So,
Yeah, it was-
so basically, the hype was just mid all the way through. Like it was never too high and it was never too low.
yeah,
Mm.
it was just.
Yeah, I find like early 2000 movies, like the ones that really did well, has that kind of like pattern where it's never like super exciting, but it's never super boring at the same time. I
Yeah,
don't know,
I
it's
wasn't
weird.
like super. Yeah, that's exactly. I was never like really excited, but I was never really bored.
Like I noticed that when I was rewatching action films from like my childhood, and I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Now what?
Mhm.
Like it's always like that. So, awesome. So, Alina, what about you? Movies that you've seen this week?
I mean, the only movie that I saw was Soul, but like, I guess I watched a couple episodes of anime here and there, but the one thing that I like finished this week was the first season of Infinity Train. If you guys have heard of that,
Infinity Train.
Mm-mm.
it's this
Never
cartoon
heard.
on Cartoon Network. I watched it on HBO Max.
That's what I need to get. HBO Max.
There's a lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. I feel like, especially now that they like actually have Cartoon Network shows, I
Yeah,
actually
so,
want to.
Most of the Cartoon Network catalog is on there. But Infinity Train is like this like if there's this train that's like
I would hope so.
it's in another dimension or something. It's hard to describe.
Kind of
this
like
girl,
Spirited
she,
Away.
Yeah, it's like she gets lost. She runs away from home or something and she gets lost, and then she ends up trapped on this train that seems to be in a different reality.
It's the same person that did regular show, or same
Yeah.
creator. Wow. Okay.
Hmm. What was it called?
Infinity Train?
I was gonna say Midnight Train.
Yeah, but it was pretty good, and it was just the first season, and some of our friends said that it gets even better. So I'm excited for that. And it really got me thinking about like, and especially in tandem with today's review, about like how we use animation to talk to children, because like and teach children things. Because like this season, or that the first season of Infinity Train released, like starts to dive deep on issues of like divorce and like loneliness and stuff. And the main character is like 12 or something. So it's like, I don't know. It's interesting to think about how we communicate ideas like that.
That's a pretty good medium actually for like complex ideas like that to be introduced to children, because you know when we were growing up we didn't really have to deal with that. So
yeah. Do you think like I guess older movies and like the movies like the animations you grew up with, like as a kid while you were watching it, did you guys get that kind of message though? Like did you actually think like, oh, you know, they're trying to like teach me, you know, sharing is caring or something like that? Because I feel like for me, just watching animations as a kid, it was just like, oh, these are cool colors. Oh, it's like, oh, this was a fun movie. But I don't think I really learned the message or the lesson of the movie until like I rewatched it as an adult.
Well, I think the part of it is that it when you introduce it to like kid shows like that, well, like topics like that to kid shows, it kind of trains the kid's brain that this type of thing is normalized. So when reality hits them, it doesn't hit them as hard. Like think of it now, like there's so many like characters in kids animation that are LGBTQ plus, and it's like now they won't go out into the world and think they're weird and discriminate against them, because they grew up with characters within the show, and now it's just like they're treated as human beings as they should, you know. So
I guess like slowly but surely, you know, you expose kids to like these messages and like these lessons, and like the more they watch, I guess, related animations or movies, like they'll catch on eventually, like, hey, you know, this message was actually okay.
Yeah, and something like this similarly would like if kids are seeing this show now, they're more like, and they'll see that or like they meet another kid who only has one parent maybe, and they'll be like, oh, I knew that existed, and that's not weird to them. But and on top of that, they'll also additionally have an idea that might be hard for that kid, you know, for that friend, whatever.
That's true.
That's right.
But I was having that conversation with my parents. Is like, do kids really like pick up on these like bigger messages in animation? Because like I know like I watched Lion King and Toy Story on loop, like as a kid, like on the VHS tapes. Like every time I came home, I would just put it in. But like I don't think I ever really got messages from it.
Yeah.
I think the first movie or animation that I really took a message from was Inside Out, Pixar's Inside Out.
Really?
And that was like 2015 or something.
Yeah. I guess like I want to say I think the transition is, well, not transition, but I think the movies in the older like early 2000s and whatnot, like they weren't really in your face type of messages, but I think with the more recent ones, it's like more like it's easier to like catch, and it's like easier to like for kids to understand like there is a message to this movie, or there's like a lesson to be learned, as opposed to like Cinderella. I feel like there wasn't really in your face like message to learn. I don't even know if there was a lesson to be learned in that movie, to be honest. But I think right now I feel like the more recent animations are just getting more I don't know, just like, well, it definitely exposes the kids to like a better understanding of like what life is and like all that stuff.
Isn't that just a byproduct of like the environment that we have now as kind of like socializing with people? Because the internet is so prominent nowadays that, you know, anyone can access it. So like I imagine kids nowadays are maturing faster than we did as kids, because they have access to so much information that they can just look up a word that they heard somewhere, you know, like offhand from an adult, and they can have any information about it, you know. And
that's true.
Even find a community on the internet to like speak about certain things. That's why
totally.
That's why I feel like kid shows now. I didn't think they evolved it on purpose. I think they just tried to go with the times, with how kids are being brought up nowadays.
That's true.
I feel, and because I mean, if you think about it, right? Imagine if you had the internet as easily as access now, while growing up, you'd know so much more, and everything that goes around the world is like in your fingertips, so you'd be well informed. That's kind of like how the kids are growing up now. So, it's either like there's going to be like two kind of like extremes of that, where one's going to be extremely progressive and one's going to be completely like deniable. No, discriminate. No, what's the word I'm looking for?
Back ass word.
Yeah, there you go. Back ass word. But hey, I couldn't find any other word.
Yeah,
other than
but
that.
I know what you're talking about. Is like I see this a lot in like kids cartoon fandoms, and like it's a thing. It's totally a thing for fandoms to go to like Tumblr and like
nice.
know each other and like discuss these things and like trying to kind of grow up together, and it's totally a thing, especially this generation of 20 somethings, because this is when like the internet was first starting, and so it's like there's no like, it's opening the floodgates. It's like we're like the guinea pigs of Tumblr or the internet,
and forums in general. Like we were just I get you.
Yeah, at least like every single one of us can kind of just point out a social media that we had growing up, as like when we talked about our passions or stuff that we liked with other people. So that makes sense. So moving on. Kim, so
yes,
on the first episode, one of the topics that we had was that you spit out your top 3 movies, and you spit out one movie that you hate but everyone likes. So can you think of like any movies that would fall in either category? You can start off with like your top 3 like favorite movies first, and then you can think about the latter later.
Yeah. Top 3, that's like the hardest thing for me, is just like to have a constant top 3. I think for me it's just like a rotation of movies at a certain time in my life that I guess resonates with me the most in that year. But if I were to do top 3 right now, definitely Jojo Rabbit. I think I've seen it like 3 times already.
Good choice.
I think just like the story, and like how we were just talking about, like, having that message for kids, like, it kind of shows them, like, I don't know, it's like a fun twist to like a history, but like it's not so well, I guess some parts of it was kind of like not traumatic, but like, sad in a way, but it just kind of shows how, it shows you that perspective of like a kid and how they were raised to think that this one thing is like good, but then they learn to like develop like their own opinions about things, and like, they realize, oh, it wasn't all that good, like this person wasn't actually all that good, and like just that transition of the kid realizing that he can form his own, I guess, opinions, and he can form his own like just like opinions in general,
which is a good message to like spit out, especially for kids, So.
And what else did I like about that movie? The characters are all, I feel like the characters, not all characters, but like the main character and the best friend were just so like lovable. And like every time, I swear every time that best friend comes up, and even though he wouldn't come up like often, it was just like I would already start smiling, because I was just like, this kid is gonna say something funny, even though like it wasn't even that grand. But yeah, and then what else? Scarlett Johansson, I mean, she's cool. It was always nice to see her face in that movie.
That's it? She's cool? She's not like, she was best mom of the movie. What do you mean?
Okay, well, debatable.
I'm just saying she was kind of milfy as fuck. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. But yeah, no, overall I feel like that movie is just like definitely on my top 5 as of right now, recent movies. I'm trying to think of other like 2 more movies. it's like my top, but it's kind of like in my own what's the word? It's more for like for me. I wouldn't say it's like top because it has the best storyline or it's like best cinematography.
No, this is just like top 3 movies like for
then definitely White Chicks. White Chicks is like a movie that I will fall back on whenever I just need a good pick me up because it's like nostalgia. Like White Chicks was like there when growing up. There's still like a bunch of things I feel like I never caught in the first 5 times I watched the movie. But yeah, White Chicks, I want to say I remember when I first saw that movie and I was just like, I was kind of surprised that our parents would let us watch it because it was like PG-13 and I was like only I definitely wasn't 13 at the time. And then I was just like, I think we watched the unrated version. And the unrated version was just like, it was weird, but at the same time I was like, oh my god, why did they just show that? Like I think I was still in that age where I was like, I didn't know they could show this in movies, like obviously I wasn't watching R-rated movies when I was like 12 or 11, but
did you ever see because it's the Wayans brothers who did White Chicks, right? Have you guys ever seen that TV show they had? They had like a sitcom like back in the day, and I remember watching reruns of it as a kid, and it felt like the humor was almost the same as White Chicks.
Yeah, no, I feel like most of the Wayans like movies are like the comedies are pretty much like similar.
Yeah,
and like the humor in it.
Scary movie.
I don't think I really that one. Yeah, Scary Movie is like I don't think I've watched the show, but maybe I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes.
I recommend that one a lot just because it's nice to see. Because obviously this was at a time where city sitcoms was a thing because of Friends and all the other shows. It's a nice, refreshing take on it. Because I don't know if it's because the community like obviously they're black, so it kind of like their whole like life story revolved around that culture in a big city. But I don't know, the humor was just different. It hit different. It was pretty good. So I recommend that one if you like White Chicks a lot. So
yeah, definitely. I don't know, something like a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but the people I've talked to about White Chicks, some it's like a kind of like a mixed group. Like some of them will find it like super funny like me, and then some of them was like, well, it was all right, because like sometimes the comedy or like the humor in that movie is like kind of over the top, and then like obviously it's a little bit triggering to some, like especially now the
people in the ladder have no taste in humor. That's all. How dare you? How dare you say White Chicks is not funny, dude? What the fuck?
Yeah, and like some of them are just like how is this funny? It's like obviously some jokes are racist, some jokes are like stereotypically like what's the word? It's just like all the things that you wouldn't want in a movie now because it might get canceled.
Yeah, because all the generalization. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think like with that and also like The Office, I think that's what I like about it is because it's.
Would you count?
I wouldn't say unfiltered.
Would you count that as your top? You get because it doesn't have to be stuck with like films to be quite honest. Yeah.
The Office. No, I wouldn't say it's like my top show. I mean, I like it, but I wouldn't say it's like
question for the group. Do you guys actually like The Office?
What?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Am I okay? I'm
okay, into this guy.
Fuck off.
We found a guy that wanted it to go to Peacock, bro.
Listen, right? I'm obviously in the minority here. I don't find The Office funny.
Okay. Honestly, for me, that's
my first hot take for this episode.
Yeah.
I actually don't like The Office. I'm one of the few people who don't. And every time someone like, especially on Tinder, dude, there's a lot on Tinder who always fucking raves about The Office.
There's people who make it their personality.
Why?
It shouldn't be.
It's not that great.
Yeah, there's like that and like Disney. Like
oh my god, you should have a Disney pass. Let's go.
Those are the big ones on Tinder that are like that's their whole personality, and it's
why.
I don't know why.
Did you finish the entire Office
funny,
series?
But like,
I watched
3 times.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
Wow.
But I think for the first time my sister introduced me to The Office, I was just like, why do people find this funny? Like, especially the first episode or like the 1st season. I was like, this is really cringy. Like, why would anybody watch this? And why is this funny? And then I think it took me, I want to say 3 years to actually start, because I think I was just finished with all the shows I was watching. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give this a chance. I pushed through the first season and I started like just rolling with it, and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty funny. And I think you have to get through the first cringe season
Should I
to
just
really
skip it then?
enjoy it.
Should I just
No,
skip the
no,
first-
you shouldn't skip it, because like, I mean, I'm not really sure what you'd miss, but I feel like it kind of still adds on to like the overall I don't know, the overall take of the Office in itself.
I'm
I
still
don't
gonna
think you
say
should-
just
Wait,
I
wait.
feel
How
like
many
cringe is-
episodes have you seen, Cornell?
like 3.
Yeah, the
Bro.
first season is
You
pretty.
can't
It's,
say you don't like something and I've only seen
Oh.
3
episode rule, dude. 3 episode rule.
That is not
Anime
a
3
rule.
episode. Yes, it is. You fucking drop an anime
Maybe for
after 3
anime.
episodes. Yeah, but
maybe for
fucking-
anime.
You can do it with
Oh.
TV shows. What do you mean? I'm
If
not
we
wrong.
are-
Why are you booing me?
if we are gonna talk about like a favorite TV show series, I think It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is like my top.
Mm.
I don't get that
Like-
one either.
I don't know. It's just like it's like kind of like the same with The Office, but not like obviously not the same. But like the humor is like dark, and also like some people will get triggered by the humor in it too, because you know at times like now it's like, oh, why is it
Edgy.
funny to make fun of like short people or anything like that, you know? But
I feel like I saw a couple things about people talking about that show
mhm,
and how they do like the edgy humor or whatever.
mhm,
Like I think the point in that is that they're always wrong.
mhm.
You know what? You know what I mean? Like the way I
Yeah.
haven't seen the show,
Yeah.
but like they
Definitely.
make like whatever jokes, like short
Mhm.
jokes or whatever they do. I haven't seen it, but like the point is that the guys making the jokes are always
Mhm.
wrong about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the same thing in The Office. Like Michael, everyone's
Yeah.
like, that's like the funny character, but
Mhm.
he's never right.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
else in The Office
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no. Like, there's this one time in one of my classes, we were talking about how a lot of disabled people usually get depicted really poorly in TV shows. And then I was talking to someone about it and how The Office actually did like a decent job, because there's like this one time where he like burns his foot and then he brings in a guy in a wheelchair to like
Mhm.
talk to them about like how bad his life is. He's like, no, my life is good. He's like, it's like, I just need you guys to, I forgot what he wanted, but Michael's like, no, your life's horrible.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's
Oh,
probably the
I
thing for
see.
me when it comes to sitcoms, is that if the whole cast is just wrong, I'm probably just like, where's the common sense?
Mhm.
You know, like if that's why I loved Friends. I loved How I Met Your Mother. I even loved King of Queens too, just because there's always like one or two characters that has the common sense. Because if the whole cast is just a bunch of idiots, I'm like, nah. You know, that's why I like with Konosuba. I'm kind of meh on it, but at the same time, I think it's really funny because the whole cast is a bunch of idiots. But there are moments where like there are moments of common sense in it too. But I don't know, man. If the whole cast of the sitcom is just like always just wrong, I kind of just tune out. I'm gonna be real. So, last thing, Kim. Movie or TV show that everyone likes but you hate.
Let's see.
You can say you can't think of one, and it's fine. It's a very
Yeah.
weird
I
question.
haven't really thought about that.
Like,
I
so
don't
was
think I've
there a
ever thought about
movie that you watched recently that had a lot of hype behind it? Like
Oh,
everybody
and then it was
you
like
heard from
oh,
was
Rise
like,
of Skywalker.
oh, it's really good. It's really good. Go.
I mean, I wouldn't say recently, but definitely. But it could have just been like how I, like the mentality I had going into it. But Frozen, I didn't really find the hype in Frozen, like that movie. But like I said, I think I was just like, I got into my head a little bit, and I was like, everyone was like, oh, this is such a good movie. This is so good. And then I watched it, and then I was just like, that's it. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like,
I get that.
And like I don't even want to like I don't feel like watching the second movie. Like I don't have any intentions of
Yeah.
watching the second movie just because I've already, there was already a huge letdown on the first one.
Yeah,
And-
everyone kind of ruined that movie, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was a good movie, but then again, I saw that film before the hype, like before everyone
Mhm.
started singing
Mhm.
"Let It Go," you know.
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
feel like the movie got ruined because of the fans,
yeah.
which is weird. You never hear that, especially when someone
Mhm.
like raves about it, and I don't know. It's the same thing with what was that movie? Oh, I know. I was thinking of anime. It was fucking Demon Slayer. That's what everyone thought of Demon Slayer was, where it's like, oh my god, it's so great, anime of the year, anime of the
Yeah.
decade. Everyone watch and be like, it's a shonen. What is this? It's just the same
Yeah.
shit. So
I still have to
It's-
watch it.
I'd
It's
say
good.
it's pretty good. I'd say it's pretty good, but I'd say it's pretty vanilla too.
yeah, like it like the music is great, the animation is
Mhm.
great, the action
Yeah.
scenes are great. You'll definitely like sympathize with the main character and his whole backstory, but for everyone that kind of went, this is the best anime ever.
Yeah, it's overhyped. Yeah.
Yeah, it's overhyped as fuck.
Fuck Zenitsu though. I fucking hate Zenitsu.
What? How
He's
dare
the
you?
worst. He's the worst.
He's right here.
They
How
should just
dare you?
remove him. They should just remove him from the show.
No, but he gets so
I-
good.
I'm not gonna go into my rant right now.
Why not? Fuck it.
I'm not gonna.
What's wrong with Zenitsu, bruh? What's wrong? Why do you hate
I
him?
think he actively makes the show worse.
Yeah.
I can appreciate characters that I don't personally like, but like work in the story or like that other people like, right? I hate Zenitsu. This is the first time I've ever like thought that a character like actively makes a show worse. It's
What
I
did you
hate it.
What did you think
It's
of the
so
other guy then?
annoying. Huh?
What did you think of the other
He
guy
was
then?
fine. He was
He's not that
passable.
annoying.
He's not that annoying.
Really? Okay.
He's dumb, obnoxious, but like it wasn't annoying enough for me to want him to not be there.
Mm. Mm.
You know what I mean? Every time Zenitsu's on screen, I'm like, dude, just go home. I don't care, right? And then when he had the payoff, I was like, this is so not worth it.
Really?
This was so not worth it.
that wasn't worth it for. Oh, okay.
It was not worth it.
Wait, we gotta stop because I think
Like the
we're
whole
ruining
time it
this.
was happening.
We're ruining this
Yeah,
for Aldo.
yeah.
We're
Yeah,
ruining this
yeah,
for
yeah.
Aldo.
I'm not paying attention. He also.
I figured.
Do you
But like
plan
the
on
whole time
watching
it
it?
was happening,
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah,
Eventually.
but the whole time it was happening, I was like, "Eh, I hate this guy. I don't care.
Honestly, the only reason why I like him is because of his animation every time he's in a battle. Literally, only
feel
reason
like-
why.
Mm.
Go
I
on.
feel like all the just like the battle scene in that show. I like. I mean, well, I don't really watch that many shonens in the first place, but like Demon Slayer really takes like, for me at least, like the animation is just top notch for me.
Mm.
But I don't really have that many other animes to compare it to because, like I said, I've only really watched rom-coms and like, so, and I've watched like, I don't even want to say this anime because I don't know how people pronounce it. It starts with Hunter, and I don't want to like,
Oh, Hunter,
I don't want to
Hunter.
be canceled because
It's Hunter Hunter. Don't say the X. That's like the taboo
You
thing.
just said the X.
Shut up. Yo,
But yeah, no,
Hunter Hunter.
yeah.
I still don't get why people like that. I'm not gonna lie. Hunter Hunter's kind of meh.
Did you finish it?
I finished it. I don't know if you did. You finish it? You
I
didn't
I watched one
Dude,
season and
I
I was
heard-
like meh.
No, dude. I heard it takes a huge turn and like at the end.
At the end.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's like
What's the
like shonens are shonens, but I think for me it's like but I've never really seen like Naruto or anything like that. I'm sure they all kind of have the same general like pace or whatever, but I think the character development for Hunter x Hunter is like I don't know, I like it. And just like
In that case, let me tell you about a very good shonen called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, I've not shut up about that show for like 3
What
weeks.
what would you say then is anime of the decade?
Hmm.
If not Demon Slayer.
One Piece.
You watched One Piece, all of it?
I've gone to episode 500.
I've never even watched one episode of One Piece.
Yeah, I think
Respect.
if anyone, if any show actually gets anime of the decade, it should be One Piece. Or Doraemon. No wait, Doraemon stopped at like early 2000s. What was Detective Conan? No. Yeah, honestly, I feel like One Piece should take it because they just passed their 1000 chapter. The anime is at 900. Like, if you're gonna pick a decade, like anime of the decade, you pick the one that's been running for a decade. That's all I'm saying. You know.
True.
But moving on to our next conversation, so we can get away from anime real quick, because I feel like we can get stuck at that conversation for probably 2 or 3
we
episodes.
can have an anime podcast.
We can honestly probably have an anime podcast. Next topic of conversation is movies that you're looking forward to that's going to come out in 2021. Obviously, we've gone into the new year. There's going to be a lot of movies that's going to be showing as per any year, despite, you know, all the hellfire and dumpster fire that's been happening. Have you guys looked up any movies that we're going
I
to...
think you should go first.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm
You don't
interested
watch
in seeing-
movies.
I watch films.
mean-
Fuck off.
I mean, we were all thinking. No. We were
Fuck
all
off.
thinking it. No, but I'm interested in
fine.
what you would say.
Fine. So, probably the most anticipated like film for me for this year. Fuck, man, that's such a hard question. Here's
You
my.
wrote it.
I know. But this was meant for like the group. All right, fuck off. Here's the thing, right? There's a lot of sequels and a lot of like remakes that are happening that I'm really looking forward to, and it's really hard to pick one because you know the last Bond movie is coming out with what's his face,
Daniel Craig.
Daniel
Ana de
Craig.
Armas. Oh,
I guess her.
There you
Wait,
go.
is she the new Bond girl?
That's the
for that
correct
one?
answer. That's
no,
the
she's
correct
not.
answer.
Oh, I was about to say.
She's just
in it.
Oh, I thought she was the next Bond girl. Dang it. Oh.
No, she
obviously,
is, but,
Black Widow. Black
Hmm.
Widow, I'm fucking looking forward to. The Matrix. Fucking Keanu Reeves coming back as Neo. Dude, that's hype as fuck. Mission Impossible set. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck.
Did you like
Honest-
Top Gun?
I didn't watch Top Gun as a kid. So it doesn't have
There
that
is
much
a sequel.
Yeah,
What,
there's
Top
or
Gun
something.
Maverick.
Yeah, something coming out this year too. About that.
it didn't I didn't watch it as a kid, nor did I watch MASH, so it's like I don't give a shit. So honestly, okay, I'll pick 3. The 3 that I'm really looking forward to is the first one is The Matrix 4 because obviously fucking Neo,
Okay.
Keanu Reeves, dude.
Yeah, I could buy that.
I'm so looking forward to how they're gonna do that. Sing 2, which is the
What?
Pixar Sing 2.
What?
Yeah, I'm actually
There's
You're looking forward to the sequel for Sing,
I am.
the animated
Is
movie.
Yes,
is Taron
I know.
Edgerton gonna stay
He
in it?
better be back.
I
Because if
hope.
not, I'm not watching it.
I hope.
For real.
Wait, let me look it up. Hold on. Yeah, see, I was actually one of the. I don't know if I'm in the minority of saying Sing was a good movie, but I really thought it was a good movie.
I liked it.
Like
It's all right.
He's in it. He's in it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in it. Okay,
All right, man.
good to know. Good to know. Hell yeah.
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 That got him the role in Rocket Man. So-
Really? Wow. Good.
Yeah, because he sang.
Nobody knew. I don't think
song.
anyone knew he could sing until that movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was like the direct correlation to like his
He
performance
sang
there.
an Elton John
No,
song.
I know. But
He got the role.
damn. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so-
Sing 2 because I don't know that one that Pixar movie actually hit me pretty good. That one's really
Even
good.
know it was
That wasn't
Pixar.
Pixar. It wasn't Pixar.
Okay,
Oh,
I
was
was
it
about
not?
to say
Wait, what?
I think it was Illumination or
that
DreamWorks.
sounds Illumination sounds right.
Oh, you're right. Okay, my bad. It is Illumination. But yeah, it was just the first one was really good. I'm looking forward to the second one. And the third one, is Sherlock Holmes 3 with Downey Jr. as Holmes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that's coming out.
They're fucking making that, dude.
Fine, like
I haven't even seen
I
any
feel like
of the first two.
I feel like finally.
Yeah, seriously.
'Cause the
After
second
Game
one
of
came out a
Shadows,
while
dude, I'm like, where'd you go?
Yeah.
So good. So
Yeah.
good. Definitely recommend. I mean, like the past two Sherlock IPs was actually very, very good. The one from the UK with
The TV show?
yeah, with fuck.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, that
Benedict
guy.
Cucumber.
He was a good Holmes, but Downey Jr. as Holmes was pretty good too. They're kind of like equal as
Mhm.
someone who's like the very witty investigator. But yeah, those I couldn't pick one, so that's my top three. Sherlock Holmes 3, Sing 2, and Matrix 4. Don't fucking laugh at me at
It's
Sing
neat.
2.
No,
How
no,
dare
it's just
you.
that they're all
It's
sequels.
like
They
2,
make-
3, and 4.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
2, 3, and 4.
I like there's no new IPs I'm interested in. Like
Mm.
maybe that
I-
Cinderella one.
I can name
Well,
one. I can
Do
name
I have
one.
a I
I
have a new
was-
IP you might be interested in?
All right,
Wait,
boys, start.
Wait,
You wanna
wait.
go or-
Is it EW, Elino?
No.
No, never mind.
Wait.
Okay.
Go.
What?
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay. Well, the reason I wanted you to go first because I was interested if you were going to say Last Night in Soho.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
That's why I said Edgar Wright EW.
Oh, I didn't know what EW. I thought that was a title.
No.
Wait,
But yeah.
that's an
Last Night in
Edgar Wright
Soho?
film?
Yeah.
Yes, because it's not comedy.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it's a horror?
Edgar Wright's new movie coming out with Anya Taylor-Joy.
Oh,
Yeah.
That looked pretty cool.
I'm excited for that.
I
And
might,
like the images I've seen look so nice.
Mhm.
I might actually watch this despite being a horror
Yeah.
film.
Well,
I'm.
it's
I'm
a
hyped for-
psychological horror, so I don't think it's actually
Oh my
that
god.
scary.
We're not having this conversation again. Although we're not having this
Guys.
conversation again.
Oh my god.
God fucking damn it.
Should be pretty viewable.
Yeah.
Should be.
Yeah.
It better be, god damn it.
Okay, that's so. Do I have to come up with a new one?
No.
Well, I mean, look,
Okay. I feel like you're gonna copy me.
I mean, I'm also looking forward to Dune. I don't know if you had that on your list.
I was thinking about, but no, I didn't. I didn't
but
put it on the
for
list.
obvious reasons. I
Mhm.
love Timothy Chalamet. I love
Oh, okay.
Cindy
that makes
Zendaya.
sense.
Zendaya.
Oscar
With the-
Isaac.
The entire cast is like, oh.
Yeah,
Did you guys
Dune?
see the trailer for that?
I
Mhm.
did.
Which one?
Dune.
Dune?
Yeah.
A lot of hype. And I'm not even familiar with like the source
Oh.
material or anything. I just think it looks fantastic. And
I'm not
just,
even
like,
trying to
love
watch the
characters.
original.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Oh, who is this
I
director?
really want to see that one in Denis
How do
Villeneuve.
you don't know who the director?
Yeah, Blade Runner. There you go. Sorry.
Dude.
I
Yeah.
was like, I know this name. I know this name, and I like him.
Like, wait, but yeah,
Yeah, Blade Runner. Blade
and he
Runner.
did Arrival too.
Oh, did he?
Arrival also,
Oh, I didn't. Know that.
Prisoners. I mentioned this already. Prisoners. You need to watch Prisoners.
and Sicario, the first Sicario. But yeah, I'm hyped for that. I really want to see that in the theaters because I feel like that's a good theater experience.
What
You don't
is
want to watch it
it?
on HBO Max?
When
I
did they?
wanna see it.
When
I
did they
wanna see
plan
it.
on releasing this?
I don't know. I think it's March.
Let me look it up.
Is it March?
I
But,
mean,
like, I'm not looking forward to seeing it by myself in my living room.
oh no,
Or,
dude!
like,
It's expected
here.
October 1st.
That's so
oh,
far.
so maybe,
Yeah,
maybe,
but like,
maybe.
I mean, they're
I
pro-
want to see it in theater.
yeah, they're projecting by the time like summer hits, like we're
Yeah.
gonna be all vaccinated. I mean, despite how slow the government's going, but still.
We shall see. We shall see.
Like they say April.
Don't worry, keep my hopes up.
They say
Yeah.
April, but let's face
I've
it, it's gonna
learned-
be August.
I've
let's face it.
learned to tamper my expectations on timelines now. Just like when they say that something's gonna be done, like expect, longer. But yeah, that's on the list. And one more I have is Judas and the Black Messiah. I don't know
Wait,
if
wait,
you've
wait,
heard
wait.
of
I think I've heard of that. Who's in
Mm.
that?
Daniel Kaluuya and the other guy who he was in Sorry to Bother You. Lakeith Stanfield.
Look, he's yeah.
Yeah. So they played two members in the Black Panther Party.
I
Daniel
have heard of
Kaluuya.
it, but I didn't read into it.
Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya plays Fred Hampton, and it's the story of his assassination.
This movie came out.
Oh, did it? Oh, I know. I think it might be running in like festival circuits.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it had like a
Wide
festival.
release or anything.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Aldo, did you say all your anticipated movies for 2021?
I haven't said any except I had one similar one as
Oh, okay.
Elino. But the one I want to watch is the French Dispatch.
French Dispatch.
What's it called?
That Wes Anderson's new
Oh.
movie.
Oh,
Have you not heard of that?
I didn't even know Wes
Said Wes
Anderson was gonna have a new movie.
Yeah. So that
French
also has my
Dispatch.
boy Timothy Chalamet, and like a
I haven't heard of that.
huge cast. You know his movies always be having these amazing casts. You guys really never heard of this?
One. No.
No.
I thought his next movie coming out was Dune.
Oh, fucking Ronan. What's her first name?
Saoirse.
Saoirse.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna be in it too. And Leia should say do.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They're gonna have everybody.
Moo.
Christoph Waltz,
Bill Murray.
my boy Benicio del Toro.
Willem Dafoe. What? Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
I didn't even.
So that'd be my number 2.
Okay.
My number 3. I don't know if this is controversial because of the first one, but the Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. I'm
Just
okay.
because James Gunn's directing,
Yeah.
I'm really excited for.
dude. I looked that shit up and made sure that James Gunn was directing it. I saw
Yeah.
that shit on the list.
Because like me, the highlight of the first one was that Margot Robbie was perfectly cast in that,
Mm.
and she proved that too in Birds of Prey too, right?
Oh yeah.
So now to see her like in a Suicide Squad movie that's like gonna be good, it's like
Hype. But yeah,
Hype.
those are my 3.
Wait. Question though, is this gonna be like a direct sequel or a remake of the first one?
Aren't they recasting some people?
Yeah,
don't
because that's
know.
what I heard too. That's why I'm asking. You guys know? I mean, you guys are more up to date. I'll like pick with sequels, so.
I think they're just. I think most of it. Okay, the people that were, from what I'm seeing in the cast list, the people that were in the first one that are on this one are the same characters, but they're adding new characters that weren't in the first one to sort of like,
Mm.
Round out.
yeah.
I mean, DC
Who
Universe
are they
is
carrying
big.
over? Oh, they're
Uh,
carrying over Viola Davis,
Yeah, and then
Will
Rick
Smith?
Flag, Joe
No.
Kinnaman.
Kinnaman.
Yeah.
Deadshot? Will Smith, please?
Not seeing him on. here.
Oh man, I
They're
actually
bringing back Captain Boomerang,
the Aussie.
whatever his name is,
He's Australian, right? Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Jai Court.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I just found out this right now looking at it. John Cena and Pete
Yeah.
Davidson are in it.
Wait, what is John Cena playing?
Probably
Peacemaker.
like an army guy.
His name is
I'm-
Peacemaker. I don't know what that is.
I mean, he's done well in the past before. With
Mhm.
I think there was like a fireman movie with him as like the main protagonist, and
Oh, wasn't that a comedy?
yeah, I was really surprised to see him in an actual film.
Well, he did Bumblebee, and Bumblebee was pretty good.
This is
that's
this
right.
is
Fuck,
check it
forgot
out.
about
This
that.
is who John Cena is playing.
Where are you sending this?
I put it in the Discord.
I can't do that. I'm recording.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I'll put it on the screen. I'll put it on the screen
Okay.
for the video. Well, I'll look at it later.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I don't see anybody.
I think.
Wow.
I just
Yeah.
see a camera guy. Weird. But yeah,
anything
it
else?
looks like they're really leaning into like the campiness of it too, so which is pretty cool.
the campiness.
And I'm assuming it'll have some great music.
Hopefully.
I mean, the first one was pretty good. The first
What? The first one?
music,
The music just felt so out of place.
Stop!
music.
Stop! That movie was a mess.
How dare you?
It
No,
was
it wasn't.
terrible.
No, it
It was
wasn't.
terrible.
The only terrible thing about that film was the
I
plot. That's
It
it.
was entertaining, but it
It
was
was
not
enter-
good.
It was
What?
entertaining.
You didn't think it was
The
entertaining?
action was dope. The characters
the only
were
thing
dope.
bad about that movie was the movie.
Plot isn't everything about
What
a
do you
movie,
mean?
bruh.
No.
Look,
The
okay.
story was bad,
Yeah, that's
but
what I
the
mean.
visuals were okay.
The visuals
Yeah,
were
the
great.
visuals
The
were
action
okay.
scenes were great. The characters were great. Music was meh. I mean, I'm biased because 21 Pilots was in it, but yeah. Obviously, the plot was trash. Let's face it, but you know, it was still entertaining to watch. So I hope like they do better on the next one. I really.
For me,
do.
it was entertaining. Ironically, like, oh, this is so bad.
Mhm.
That's how I felt watching Netflix Death Note.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
saw that
God.
too.
You
I saw
actually
that too.
watched
I haven't
that?
even seen the
No,
first.
I watched it with family
episode.
members who had seen the anime, so that we could laugh about
Okay, that's what I
bad
did
the
too.
movie was. Because I wasn't gonna watch that for fun.
That's what I did too. Yeah.
Like,
it
I
was
guess
pretty-
I kind of did have fun because we were just roasting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like any live action adaptation of
Mhm.
anime.
Like,
that's-
I love Lakeith Stanfield, but he was not good.
Yeah.
He was bad.
Yeah.
I was like, he should have. I don't know if he watched the show, but it was bad.
I doubt anybody in that crew watched Death Note. Let's face it. No one
Yeah.
fucking
Yes.
watched it.
What's his name? Willem Dafoe was actually not bad.
Yeah.
He was actually
Willem
pretty.
Dafoe was the highlight of that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really was. Yeah, it was pretty good.
But he's good in
Yeah.
everything. So.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Even though you don't like The Lighthouse,
I like the
Mm.
acting in The Lighthouse. I don't like the movie.
fuck off. Kim, what about you? Anticipated movie of 2021?
You know what? I'm actually just going down the list right now because I didn't, I don't watch any type of ads. I got ad block on, so no trailers have popped up on my YouTube.
Nice.
And
nice.
I am not, I honestly kind of just have, what's the word? I stick to Netflix and just kind of just on repeat watch the same shit over and over again. But looking at this list, I'm a big fan of like musicals. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but I like musicals, and I would definitely want to watch the West Side Story. I just want to see like a more updated film or take on that. I mean, the ones that you guys. Sorry, what was it?
When was the last West Side Story movie came out?
I'm sure
90s
there was a
or
bunch of,
80s?
like adaptations, but
I know there
Don't-
was an adaptation of the Broadway show before. I just don't remember what decade it came out.
all I know is I watched the older one, and it's saying it was 1961. So.
Oh wow, is it even older? Fuck. Damn.
I mean, Dune looks pretty interesting, but you guys have already talked about it. If you guys say, or if you guys are talking about like how Suicide Squad, the second one might be good, that might be like something I would be interested in watching. But like seeing as how
Give
the
it a
first one
chance.
was just like a
Yo,
oh
same
God.
director as Guardians, bro.
Yeah.
Same
Have to
director as
believe.
Guardians.
See, that's
Yeah.
the thing. I don't really.
Best
I didn't know that.
Best soundtrack of a Marvel movie, dog.
Wait, who directed the last one? I don't know anything about like who directs
David
movies.
Ayer, I think.
Okay, but yeah, the first Suicide Squad movie was terrible.
Hot garbage.
No.
I was just remember sitting in the theater, and after the movie, I was like, "What did I just watch?"
Well, I
Like,
mean,
I
obviously you don't watch it in a theater. You watch it on a streaming service.
Was this when he was let go and then DC was like, all right, we'll take him.
Yeah.
And then they're like, wait, no, we want you back.
Yeah.
We don't want you with
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
competition.
Yeah, this was
Yeah,
this
that's what
this
happened.
was like the byproduct of like the whole Twitter drama
Yeah.
when he was doing Guardians.
When you're that good of a director.
Yeah. I mean,
But you
fucking
don't want-
Batista fucking protested on Twitter to like have him back, or he won't come
Yeah.
back as like fuck, I forgot what his character's name is.
Drax.
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 There you go. Drax. Whatever. But yeah, no, because James
Yeah.
Gunn's good. Like, why would you cancel
Mhm.
someone just because of such
He
petty
was
things?
He also it was stupid. Like he recanted on all of that. Like he's like, oh, that's at a time when I was trying to like stick out and stuff.
Yeah.
What did
And
they?
That's
What-
also like kind of the entire story of Guardians. Is like of shitty people coming together and like growing together and being better people.
Oh, I didn't follow
Wait, he
that.
got canceled? Or what happened with
So
that
wait,
director?
he
no.
I
like
don't-
he was like a comedian. No, was he a comedian? No, was he a comedian?
No, but he just made some shitty jokes
Yeah.
that he
Mhm.
grew past on Twitter. Like
This was before canceling was a thing, like
Yeah.
on social media.
that's yeah.
And you know,
Uh,
like to fire someone based on like thoughts from like decades ago is such a I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess.
Like Disney has that brand image like protection on lockdown. That's the only reason why it happened. That's the only reason why they got wind of those like things he said, fucking fired him and completely regretted it. And now there's a DC film that's directed by him, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean,
James Gunn, though,
Um,
come on.
the movie,
hyped
I
for
guess, we were talking about this before the podcast, but Uncharted. I mean, I'd like to see how that
Really?
would. Yeah, Tom Holland is in there, and I guess I didn't even know that they were gonna come out with an Uncharted movie, but you guys were talking about it, and I'm just like, I'm kind of interested. I've only played one Uncharted game, and it was like the third one, and it wasn't even like in chronological order, but like when I did play it, it was the story was pretty good, and I mean Tom Holland is in this movie, and I'd definitely
many-
watch Tom Holland.
How many games is there? There's 4 Uncharted games, right?
I think so.
Because
I
I
want to
know.
say there's 4. Oh,
I
there's
know-
5. Oh.
Oh,
I don't know.
Wait, wasn't one of them a spin-off with a different character other than Nathan Drake?
I don't know all too much about Uncharted, but
There's 4.
Okay, because
The 5th one's coming out this year.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a. Fuck, I forgot. There's a 5th one coming. Damn it.
I wanted to say the Batman, but they pushed it back to next year.
Oh,
So
did
that
they?
was-
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah, because
disappointing.
what's his face got COVID, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, such a shame. The
Robert
the car and the
Pattinson.
model for him looked really good as like the new Batman. I was actually really looking forward to that, but it is what it is. All right, lads. So
Wait, was that 3, Kim?
honestly, I don't even know. But if I had to name one more, it is probably I didn't know that Wes Anderson was going to come out with another movie, but I definitely watch a Wes Anderson film. Just like the whole cinematography and all his films
Nice.
are just breathtaking.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw some pictures of it. Now I'm hyped. Yeah. I love that.
I
Was
can't believe anybody didn't know.
wait,
Oh,
was the
yeah.
Grand Budapest Hotel by him too? or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Isle
see,
of
like
Dogs was
looking
by
at-
him too.
yeah. Okay, I wasn't paying attention to Isle of Dogs. I need to rewatch that one.
Motherfucker,
I
we
know.
watched it together.
I
What
know
bitch?
that's exactly why. I was too lit, and I just like, what is going on?
I think a lot of his movies are on Amazon Prime right now.
Is
Wait,
it?
really?
Oh,
Yeah,
see.
I think some of them are ad though, but some of them are
I mean, with ads.
yeah. But there's like the Royal Tenenbaums. Is that what it's called? The Aquatic Life of something.
Something.
Yeah,
I need to rewatch Isle of Dogs. That's probably my favorite Wes Anderson film. Grand Budapest Hotel is like the second, and then
I
all
like
all
that
his
one.
other ones is like can be tied for third. But like Isle of Dogs for me, I've never seen someone do stop
haven't
motion
seen-
like that. So
I haven't seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, and that's something that I've been meaning to
oh,
watch.
I heard that was
Me
good.
too.
same.
I heard that was really good.
Yeah.
A lot of people debate that could be his best, but I haven't seen it.
I feel like it's like I think it's like a very collective opinion that once he went stop motion animation, like he got better. Because I guess he got way like he had complete control of composition, and I think that was the only thing that was missing every time he did live action. So everyone's opinion about his like stop motion films was like really raved. So I'm really I'm looking forward to him going back to live action, to be quite honest, because I thought he was just gonna stay in stop motion. So I don't know. But yeah, anyway, guys, Soul. Let's finally go to the topic, which is the title of this podcast, which is the Soul review. Disney Pixar's Soul review. Alino, do you want to go first?
No, I was gonna say, can I use the bathroom?
Oh, okay, yeah. Cornell editor cut here. All right, so Soul review. Wait, that sounds like a YouTuber. Like Soul review.
Review.
Mhm.
Might as well copy like Copy YouTubers.
I know.
Meme review. Soul review. So, let's start with. You know what? I'm curious what Aldo has to say. Aldo,
Okay.
thoughts on Soul.
Let me start off.
Let's start
by-
with things you like about it, and then we'll go around the room, and then we'll go about things we didn't like about it. How does
Okay.
that sound for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So we're doing things we like
First,
right now?
yeah.
Okay. So here's what I like. It kind of goes into things I don't like, but I don't like when it's like predictable, right? And I totally expected this to be like predictable because I was like, oh, it's a Disney movie, it's probably gonna be like something. And then I think not knowing about it is what sort of like got me, because at first when he's like going to he got like the thing where he's gonna go perform with the, what was her name?
Dorothea
Dorit
Williams?
Williams.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's just gonna take place right here in like the human life. There's gonna be like some tragedy, and then he dies, and I was like, what? And then it goes back to like that world. I was like, okay, now it's probably gonna be the story about him going back to his life from here, and then he goes back to his life, and then he has to solve that. I was like, wait, what? And then he goes back, and like just like the shifting like back and forth although it was like, I guess you could say it's predictable, but to me, like in the moment, it wasn't. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate that. And then I like that little things came back. So when he first performed, there was like all that like purple light that was like shining around him, and I was like, oh, that's so like Disney. And then it comes back when it's like explaining how when you're like in the zone, you get to go like to that. So I thought that was really like cool that things weren't just in there to like make it look pretty. It was actually meaningful. So yeah.
Yeah.
Alina, what about you? What did you like about the film?
Yeah, I agree. I really liked how they kind of had that like moment of like that's super romantic and fantasizing about him going off on, right? And then it actually, that's how this world is. It's like that's what it's like to be in the zone, you know? But I guess like the biggest thing for me was that I appreciated how this was like a love letter to teachers. Like this entire movie was all about how that's like explaining how teachers help people find like a reason or like motivation to live and continue living. You know what I mean? Because like throughout the movie, he inspires 3 different people, or not throughout the movie, but like it's explained that he inspires 3 different people to live their life. And the first is Curly, which happens before the movie. And
Curly, who's Curly? Sorry.
He's the drummer.
Okay,
The
yeah.
drummer who gives him a call. So like he's like, oh, you were this great teacher of mine, you know? Yeah. And you inspired me to go to music school. So the first is Curly, and the second is Connie, right? Obviously.
Trumpet.
Such a great scene.
Yeah.
That was a great scene. Yeah. And then the last one obviously is 22.
I was actually gonna say that he even inspired the entities that were like controlling the place. Remember when they were like talking about
Yeah.
Jerry?
No, not Jerry.
No, everyone else but Jerry.
Oh, Terry.
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 I
what do you
forgot
mean?
what.
Terry's,
like when-
Terry's the accountant. Jerry's is like the one that runs U Seminar.
Oh, then not Terry.
Yeah, the Jerrys.
Yeah,
The
the Jerry's.
Yeah, because they're talking about like how rarely we're inspired ourselves. So yeah, so I would say 4. Inspired 4.
Yeah. So the other thing that I really appreciated about this movie was like, so there's a lot of messages in it, but the thing is, the thing that I want to talking about is that how we have to be careful about what we say, and what messages we're trying to get off to other people, because like if you notice in that scene right outside of the jazz club where what is it, right before they try to do the thing with Moonwind to switch them back, Joe says some things to 22 when she's in his body, and then you go to the climax and she's repeating back everything he said to him, but she says words that he didn't say.
Yeah, it was skewed,
You know what I mean?
right? Because it was
Yeah,
just it's
it's
how
skewed.
she interpreted.
Self-detrimental to herself.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so it's like we have to be careful because there are other people on the other end of the message who are interpreting it in a certain way. So it's like he didn't say that you have no purpose, but that's how it came across. And similarly, he interpreted it, and I'm sure we did too, that your spark, right, was your purpose.
Yeah.
But it turns out that's not actually what it is. It's more or less like your reason to live, right, or your motivation to live. And so I appreciate that, like, it goes back to the thing about like
Teachers and
and like talking to kids and like
Yeah.
teaching them like messages can be like skewed and stuff.
It also like makes me think about like how that saying when it's like those who can't do teach, and this was like totally against that.
Yeah,
It's not always like that.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to rewatch this movie because I was a bit distracted while I was watching it. But you guys, your guys' points make a lot of sense. I didn't really catch that whole, be careful with what you say type of message, and like the the overall theme about teachers and how much, how much work they put into like, preparing these kids and like, what's the word? I can't think of the word right now. Not molding, inspiring, and like, just
Guiding.
like, even like now that you talk about it, like even the teacher himself didn't even realize how much of a change like he was kind of, I guess, pushing, or like the change in like what's the word? I'm blanking out right now. But like he was kind of like portrayed as like he's so focused on getting this one goal in life, he didn't even realize like all the help that he's already given to all these other people in the movie. And like, I mean, obviously he realizes that maybe towards the end of the movie, but like, I guess I feel like maybe some teachers don't realize that now in our society, like, oh, I'm just here to teach, but am I really making a difference in the world? And I didn't really see that until like you guys pointed it out.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool. The transition, like Aldo said, I actually didn't, like, that caught me off guard, like how they just kind of killed him off really easily. Like early on in the movie, I was like, wait, what the fuck just happened? Oh, can we curse in this book?
I've said fuck about
We
20
talked
times
about
already.
pornography.
Oh, that's true. Maybe that's not cursing. But yeah,
I really thought it was gonna be a whole bit where he just like totally avoids death, like the whole.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he was walking
Dude,
through the
same.
I thought he was just not going to get killed there.
Yeah, I was like, Disney.
But I kind of
get
had
me.
that, yeah. But like how they kind of like paced it out in the beginning, and like I had like that foreshadowing feeling, like, oh, okay, they're gonna kill him off because like they're already trying. He's avoiding all these like little incidents, and I was like, no, they're definitely gonna like kill him off. But I guess what shocked me is just like how they killed him off. I was just like, oh no, he's definitely gonna get run over by a car.
He
but
just
no,
falls off screen.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? And then what else did I like about that movie? I mean, honestly, I think it was just such like a unique take on just like Inside Out. Like I never really thought about that that take on like emotions, and like I always thought like, wow, like even just like rewatching Inside Out, I was just like, that's such like, it's so weird how anyone can really think of this idea like, oh, there's emotions that kind of like different emotions we have within ourselves that take on their own personality, and then kind of like that's what makes up a person. And that's how I felt about this movie too. Like how was it personalities? That's what the souls were. Like you each get a personality, and then you jump into the world and like you go into a person. I that's why I said I need to rewatch this movie. But I think that take itself was like also unique. Like how it's not just like, oh, you're born into this world with just one whole jumbled personality, like kind of like religion, like you're born and you were born with all this personality, but this one's like you get individual personalities from each different soul, I guess. And I was just like, well, that's kind of weird, it's kind of unique, and I don't know, I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I do feel the same too, because like having that whole that whole kind of like structure of how new souls get born into the world, which is basically they set up preliminaries to who they are and make sure they have a spark or basically a reason to live, then jump them on. I thought that was very interesting. And I had the same reaction when he died in like the first 30 minutes. I was like, wait, what? Did he actually kill him off? And God, yeah, there's so many things to love for this movie. I think what's different from my take for this film was that the message that I got of the overall film was different than you guys, because like Alino said, it was more a love letter to teachers and shit like that, and it's like more of like you watch what you say to the other person because they might not translate it different. I was more concentrated on Joe's like internal conflict of like, remember that scene where he finally did the performance and he was just like, oh,
Meh.
that's it.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was like that. Like I related to that so much just because it's such a weird thing, right? You have this idea in your brain of what your ideal life is like, and you chase it so hard in your life, and you become like the lost souls in like in the movie. And like the message that I got for it was kind of just like, just live life, enjoy your current circumstances, be blessed that that's what you got, and stop worrying about the future shit. You'll get there. Don't worry about time. Don't worry about expectations. Just kind of just chill. You'll get there. You'll get to where you want, as long as you just keep working hard every day and don't put yourself down as hard as you thought you were. And that's the message I got, and that's what probably took the cake for me for the movie, because that's his whole character growth in this movie was really great. It's weird to see it in like a Pixar film, to be quite honest, because they don't usually tie it to a story like that, because usually when you think of Pixar films and kind of like character growth, it's like coming of age, dealing with harsh realities of life, dealing with internal family issues that kind of relate to the kids nowadays. I feel like they made this movie for actual adults, and it's really nice to see a Pixar movie made for adults, even though it's animated, because you can tell that's kind of the message from it. Like Alina said, it's a love letter to teachers. And yeah, it makes sense. I don't think it kind of makes sense though that they didn't market this towards kids. They marketed it as just like a film. And it's nice to see that one, Pixar made something that was not completely like, you weren't expecting the plot. It wasn't like you couldn't tell where it was going, because he fucking died in like the first 30 minutes. And the fact that the lesson and like the whole message of the character growth was more towards adults than kids, it's a nice to see, because when you think of animation, you think, oh, it's just for kids. Like that's the whole big mantra about anime. It's like, ew, you're like an adult and you're still watching anime to this day. Like, why? Fucking weeb.
It's definitely like the message in the movie is definitely like a nice like refresher. Like, hey, because I think going into this movie, I was thinking, oh yeah, it's just gonna be not like, obviously not gonna be like your generic message that you usually see in animations, but like I think we like you said, it's not really targeted to kids, but like more so for like just anybody. And like I feel like it hits more with people our age, because we're kind of just like going through life, and then sometimes we forget that we gotta remember our will to live. Or I think this was just kind of like a nice like, hey, wake up, like this is your what's the word?
It's your wake up call to kind of just stop and smell the roses rather than
exactly.
Yeah.
I will say, after I watched this movie, I started writing again.
Oh,
this
see?
screenplay that I totally stopped writing. But like something that Cornell said about like how it's like targeted for like adults makes me think about like how recently like on Twitter I've seen how like it's okay to find yourself when you're like 30 or 40 or 50 or 60. Like the part of like life is to never stop growing. And I think that's like a good message that the film had like underneath it, where like even though you're a teacher, you could still aspire to be like the great artist that you wanted to be when you were like a teenager. And I thought that was like a good message.
I guess that's why this film was so loved, especially when the time it came out, is because we're in a place where like everyone everyone just wants to be somewhere else. You get me? We're either stuck in a situation or we're given a situation where it's not ideal. And this movie kind of just be like, hey man, just relax. Don't
Just
trip.
live, man.
Just
live.
look-
You'll get there.
Yeah, you'll get there. Just relax. Enjoy the little stuff, because
Yeah.
if you don't enjoy the little stuff, you'll think of your life as meaningless. And that's the good message of this film.
And don't eat that many processed foods.
Oh yeah, dude, that dude got flamed so hard. I
so
felt so
funny.
bad.
Oh my god.
Fuck, what was his name? I forgot.
Paul, I think? Or
Paul, dude, he got so flamed in that barbershop. I was like,
Yeah, it's
Oh!
like not cool, man. Not cool, Joe. Not cool.
it's just like, yeah, he's just, he puts people down because he's just hiding his own disappointments and his stuff. Oh, Pixar, you really do that in animation film? Holy
He's like,
fuck!
you dig deep, Joe.
That's why, dude, I'm so glad, like, especially Western animation like entities are starting to take steps into having their animation films just outside of kids, like out of kids like demographic.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's like I said, it's so annoying now when like it's so annoying now, especially when I try to talk to someone that's not a weeb and just be like, hey, watch this anime, it's actually pretty good, it's not actually for kids, you should see the gore. Oh my god, there's guts everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're still like, but anime is for kids.
Every time I recommend Attack on Titan, they say no. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're lost.
Yeah, dude. And I'm really glad that it's taken, I guess, I mean, it's starting now, at least like it's starting now rather than it's not starting at all, that animation's being taken seriously, at least like by companies like Pixar. It's just like, yeah, dude, it's like, yeah, it's animation, yeah, it's the message is for adults, so what?
Yeah.
It's a good medium. You can fucking like,
Do
if this was in IRL, it would have been a bigger budget, so this is more
Do you
convenient to
think-
do or some shit like that. So
do you think the timing of like when this movie actually came out is like perfect, considering the fact, like, we're in a pandemic, and I feel like a lot of like adults our age are losing, the motivation and like the inspiration to kind of just like strive for the things that they want to do, because they feel like they're stuck in this situation, and they feel like everything's kind of like falling out of place because they thought that they were going to be doing this instead of that, but the pandemic hit.
Oh yeah, no, there's that whole stigma. Fuck, I saw it like on Twitter as a meme on Twitter that was like, yeah, being 20, being in your early 20s means being disappointed in yourself that you haven't fully started your life yet. I was just like,
I saw that.
bro, what the? Yeah, that's exactly true. That's what most like every 20-year-old fucking feels nowadays. It's just like we see all these like model figures we have on social media that are like either younger than us, or like the same age as us and more successful, and we're just like, man, why are we not them? And that's the whole like double-edged sword about social media. We share more now, which is good. We take more videos now, we take more photos now, which inspires like social media platforms like TikTok and like Instagram to everyone wants to be like content creator and shit. And I feel like TikTok is a good thing despite how much I hate about it, because everyone's starting to learn editing and like kind of learn.
That's one of the first things that I said about it when it started blowing up. I was like, it's teaching an entire generation about like principles of editing, and they're not thinking about it. They don't think about it as like learning or anything, but like that's what it is. It's like you understand.
They think of it as like proper storytelling through video, and that's basically what editing is, because they have a story to tell. Now they have a medium and the tools to do it, and yeah, it's just great, because now we have such things like, I fucking lost my train of thought. Fuck, where was I? I got super sidetracked because I just raved about TikTok. No matter.
But it's like about like inspiring like people like us to be like, hey, relax, just you're here, and that's what matters,
Yeah.
And I will say, I saw I went on YouTube, as I do, and watched a bunch of YouTube videos about Soul, right? And one of them was like, it's this movie forms a really good thematic trilogy of Pixar movies between Inside Out, Coco, and Soul. about basically life, because like the first one is like about growing up, and then the last one is about death, and then this is about like the middle part. You know what I mean? And it's like
It's like an unintentional trilogy.
yeah,
with the
it's a
same message,
thematic
man.
trilogy is what they said. So it's like, and I will say it's very nice to have grown up with this trilogy per se, because like I said earlier, that was like really the first animated movie that I feel like I really took a message from, you know, and it's like
Yeah.
being in touch with your emotions or blah 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 blah, right? And all that, and then like this coming out right now, like you said, being early 20 somethings, you know, and being like feeling like you're chasing the ocean, you know, and being like, why don't I have the ocean yet? I was told I would have the ocean, but like we're here, like we're doing it, and that's all that matters.
In
is that
reality,
we're
you're
here.
already in the ocean. You're just
Yeah.
you're just-
Drowning.
Yeah. You're drowning in your own air. That's basically what it is. That's basically, dude.
fucking
That's basically
great.
what
Oh my
expectation
God.
is. Like
That's
today's
great.
expectation on people is just, dude, you're choking on your own air. You have your
Yeah.
goals. Like you literally
Yeah.
are there. You're just putting yourself down
I-
for no fucking reason. It's so yeah.
This is just something that I thought about too. Like, I think that's why I also like our generation, how, you know, even with all these upcoming animations and films, we don't think animations are just for kids. We still enjoy watching them, and we will still enjoy watching them in the future, as opposed to like, I know my parents, they don't really enjoy watching any type of animation movies. They think it's for kids. They don't think that there's a message to it or anything like that. So I think, you know, the one thing that I truly appreciate about our generation is just like open-mindedness and like
Yeah.
having that ability to just, you know, not assume, but kind of, you know, just
Yeah, one of the biggest, like, basically one of the biggest pros for having our generation born almost like in the cusp of the internet, or like basically the uprising of the internet, is that we've learned to be critical about the information we're given, and I like that a lot, because I think the previous generation kind of blindly followed a lot of things just because it came from a news outlet that they trusted, even though in reality it was probably the only news outlet that was there, and it could easily be influenced by money. And now it's just like,
Probably is.
yeah, it probably is, and it probably still is, you know.
Is.
And now it's like we now have the resources,
all these
to-
resources. Yeah.
we have all these tools in our hands too.
And we're not afraid to use them.
Yeah,
And
of
like,
course.
I think that's the thing, like for parents, or my parents at least, it's just like they stick to one tool, one, you know, resource, and they'll stand by it, and they won't
Yeah.
even, you know, try to look into other medias or like anything like that. And they're just like, no, this, you know, Facebook is true, they're telling the truth, blah
Yeah.
blah blah, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that thing where like your parents grew up understanding that animation was for kids, or like that it was like just a bunch of like dumb content with nothing deeper in it. But like now we understand, like our generation kind of understands that you can pull something from it. There's layers to it. You can see.
Yeah, not gonna lie though, that's why I'm low-key like proud of my mom, because she was one of those parents that's like believed everything on Facebook. And when COVID hit, she was like, so she had a thing, right? So here, let me grab it. So she gave me these vitamins, right, that have vitamin D in it, basically. And she told me, yeah, take vitamin D. It's actually really good to kind of just like prevent COVID, or like lessen your like either symptoms of it, or like some kind of shit like that, right? And I dismissed it. I was like, probably fucking read that on Facebook. That's probably full of shit. Up until I saw it on Reddit, I found the academic journal where that article she read was based on, and it was actually true. It was an actual study. And I'm like, I straight up told her like, oh yeah, I saw the academic journal, and she was like, yeah, I didn't read this on Facebook. I went to the CDC. I was like, oh my god, you're actually using it. You're actually using the resources.
Yeah.
I was so proud, dude. I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
Well, also I've heard that too, and I'm like, that just makes like sense logically, because you know, you just boost your boost your immune. A lot of things claim to boost your immune system, but like if you're just generally a healthier person, you know, you have a higher chance of like beating.
That's
this thing.
true.
So like if vitamin D is one of those things that makes you a healthy person, and obviously that's gonna help you fight it. So
Yeah, that's why now when someone argues with me, like or like when not argues with me, but like when you see the argument online that like the internet has become our downfall, I think that's bullshit, dude. We've become more informed because the internet is now accessible with a device that fits in our pocket. Like that's what makes it amazing, and we've had these platforms now. Despite even though they're making money out of us based on our personal information, we still get information, you know. So that's why I love the world that we live in despite its downfalls, because now we can be critical, and we can argumentatively support those critical thoughts that we have, because we can find the tools, proper tools, or we have the proper tools to find evidence for our arguments. That's why when I see, like, especially on Twitter, I was like, what the fuck? When I see people on Twitter argue about shit and their main argument is like, no, you're wrong, I immediately tune out. Like I've met so many people where I try to argue like, no, it's actually this, and their reply is, no, you're wrong. I immediately know now to turn off my brain and stop conversing with that person, because I know that nothing I say will ever go through their head, because they don't know how to like find proof towards their argument, you know, or they deny it outright, and it's just like, okay, well.
Bye.
With my family, I always look for counter arguments on my phone every time. I was like,
and like I think that's what I also like about like our generation. It's like we're kind of teaching our parents, you know, we have these resources. Look at this, you know, this is backed up by this journal, and then like, I mean, obviously they're not gonna, you know, get it on the first try, but like they slowly kind of evolve into like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should second guess what they put on Facebook, because maybe it's not entirely true. And it's because, you know, our generation is just telling them like, you know, don't believe everything you see firsthand or on your, you know, on the internet. You know, try to, you know, look for other, not alternatives, but like other resources. Like try to make sure before you say your opinion, before you form your opinion, make sure it's like, you know, you have a lot of things to back. Yeah.
There was this funny moment because my family had COVID, but I didn't, right? And they had been like, they had done the whole quarantine thing. They got cured. And then I would still like be wearing my mask. She's like, my aunt would be like, why are you wearing your mask? We're cured. We should be afraid of you. I was like, well, actually, you can't get COVID a second time for like a couple months. So you should be fine. Also, I'm still worried about you guys.
Also, you don't have the vaccine, so technically you're not cured. You're just not contagious anymore, but there's still a chance. So,
but I was just like, you literally are fine for a couple months.
Yeah,
but I'm not. So,
all right. So moving on, we've talked about, you know, the likes of this movie and kind of how reflects, or how kind of reflects our society nowadays. You know, what about our dislikes of this movie? I only have one, but I'm curious what you guys.
I have one as well. Did you want to start with me, like how we went last time, or?
Yeah, sure. Let's start with you. We'll go around the room again.
Okay.
Kind of clockwise.
The only thing for me was I like depressing stuff when I watch movies, and I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the ending because I thought it was sort of heading towards that, like you have to accept like things that happen in your life, and like death and stuff. So I thought that when they gave him a second chance, I was like, oh, there's the fucking Pixar thing. Yeah, like giving him a second chance.
Okay.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny the way they did it. It was funny. I liked it, but I think in terms of like story wise, I didn't like it. But I was happy when I watched it.
I totally forgot about that.
I think it would have made more sense if he just died and his
just accepted and went.
Thing that he did was
Did you not think he redeemed himself enough to kind of just like have that second chance?
I think it made sense. I guess I wouldn't say I hated it. I just thought that it would be more impactful.
It would have been better.
If he went to
I totally forgot that they gave him a second chance, and like
I thought it was hilarious that they like switch the number out.
Oh
like,
yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
even talking?
Like,
hilarious.
yeah, like that little part was nice. And then like when I talked about how like they were saying how they got inspired, and then
Mhm.
yeah, I mean it was nice, but I guess overall I wanted
It makes
a
sense. Yeah.
different ending.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, but I'm gonna have to go next because it's gonna be directly
Okay.
in correlation to all those. Yeah. I see. I thought it was fine that he got his second chance, but in relation to Terry, I feel like Terry was unnecessary.
Hmm.
Like I get right.
Mm.
I get right. He's the motivation. Like he's like
Yeah,
the
he's like the
opposite
ticking time bomb.
force to like move this motivation going, because if they didn't have that opposing force, they wouldn't be in such a rush to kind of like go back to Earth and kind of like solve all these kind of problems of him like
Mhm.
getting his overall want, which is going back to Earth and performing and start living again. But I feel like the Terry character didn't need to be there. I feel like the Jerrys could have carried that character already. Like they had the authoritative figure, right, to stop him
Mhm.
from going back to Earth.
Mhm.
They didn't need the annoying little twerp that's an accountant saying
Mhm.
like, "Oh no, counts off. We gotta find something. Terry's gonna do it. It's like, nah,
Yeah.
you didn't need that. I feel like in the whole movie, Terry didn't need to be in that movie.
I
Yeah.
can see where you're coming from.
It definitely
yeah.
felt
You can
like a
totally
little
cut-
bit out of place at some points.
That
Yeah,
could have been
mm.
like the little kid thing that like, because I think I found it hilarious. I could see how like story wise it doesn't have to be there, but it was funny, and I think a
Mhm.
lot of kids found it funny.
I think
Yeah.
that was the more I think that was just Pixar going like, this message probably only adults will get it, but kids can watch it too. Look, we have funny character. Here's Terry. He's an
Mhm.
accountant. He's quirky. And
He's got that
yeah.
funny voice too.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. I get why they did it, but it wasn't my personal favorite. Like I didn't like him. I didn't hate it, but I just didn't like him. I guess let's go Kim. What?
Well, Aldo pretty much talked about. Well, he reminded me about the ending and how. I mean, personally, it would have been good if it was, or it would have been better if they had chosen. Because I was expecting them to just kind of like, he sacrificed his life for this other person to be able to experience the joy, the purpose of living. And I guess the whole giving him a second chance was just like, why? But other than that, I don't really think I found that many things that I disliked about, or barely anything I disliked.
Did you guys feel like him getting a second chance had less, like the impact of the message? Yeah, had the it lessened the impact of the message just because he got a second chance.
Oh god.
So I was gonna say I see where you're coming from, but I don't necessarily feel the same way because I feel like by the end of the movie, when he gets that second chance, he's living for a different reason. You know what I mean? And like now, like it's truly a second chance in the sense that he's living in the way that he learned what living is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now he is happy that he is in water. You know what I mean? And I think that's like the point, and that's why I kind of like the movie, or like I like the ending. As is, because it's that he learned to live.
There was just like one thing, maybe I just didn't catch it, but there was like one thing that bothered me. Did his mom ever visit him in the hospital? Like when he
No.
right?
No, because
They didn't
she
show
didn't know.
anything.
Probably
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
Okay.
yeah,
Well, so
nobody
who was that lady with the cat? That was just like
that was just a therapist with.
The therapy
Okay.
cat, yeah.
Okay, so maybe that's the thing I didn't catch. Like I thought like, if you hear your kid is in the hospital, you would think the first thing your mom's gonna go and visit you. But I guess maybe I just didn't catch that.
You also have to remember, he probably died he died and came back probably in less than an hour, and like in their real time. Because remember when they said like time isn't really a thing when he was talking to 22, and it's like, wait, no, I gotta go back. Like I'm gonna be late, and and 22 was like, no, time isn't a thing here. Time flows differently. I feel like that's how they got around that fact that no one visited like him in the hospital, because I think in real time he was only there for like maybe an hour or two, which doesn't. I mean, obviously, when he fell, he probably like lost all his contacts, or he doesn't have his mother as like his emergency contact or some shit like that. But I feel like that's why.
Yeah, because he went there. Was it after after a
practice.
school day? Yeah,
Yeah.
After
he
the
went.
practice, no?
No,
Well,
after they met for the
was-
first time for the quartet.
Yeah, but was that after a school day?
No.
Because he
Uh,
was at.
I
band
think it all takes place within a day, no?
I
Yeah,
think
it
so.
did- it
My
did take-
understanding was
probably.
there was like band practice like sometime during the day, like in the morning or something,
Mhm.
and then some around in the afternoon he had that.
You have to go to the
audition.
gig. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it was like you have to do it before like 6 when like
Yeah,
the sun
you had to-
was
yeah.
at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the whole movie
Yeah.
takes in a day. Yeah, you wouldn't contact emergency. Yeah, especially if they didn't have any information on him, like any of his personal belongings. Because I
Mhm.
mean, let's wait. I didn't see shit like that, like any details like that. So it's like, it probably took a day. It probably didn't make sense
Yeah.
for them to like.
Especially if
follow up.
the hospital isn't your hospital, probably can't find
Yeah.
his emergency contacts.
Yeah. Yeah, because
I guess that's probably just something I did. I like I said, I probably missed that detail because I wasn't really paying attention. But yeah.
Alino, I have a question. Would you say that he needed to say that last line to complete the film?
What last line?
When he's talking about like, oh, I have to live life to the fullest every day. Like that last, I thought it was a little cheesy. I
It
don't
was
know.
cheesy.
I thought that didn't need to be said.
It was cheesy. Like he could have easily just like they could have just had him walk outside of his door and smile.
Hmm
Mhm.
But at the end, also it's still a kids movie too, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
So like, there's a certain amount of hand holding you have to do, you know. But like, it was. I will admit it's cheesy, but like I still liked it.
Yeah, I watched it. I was smiling because of how cheesy. I was like, oh my
Oh,
god.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Isn't that the biggest thing about Western films, especially mainstream Western films, is that the hand holding is always has to be present.
Mm.
Sometimes.
Unless people are not gonna get it, like if that movie ended and he didn't say that, a good amount of people who viewed it probably didn't get it.
That's
'Cause-
how I felt. Sorry, no, you finished.
Because that's how they market, like that's how like they write these movies, because they intend it for everyone to watch it, and if everyone watches it but everyone gets it, it gets a bad review. That's why like we talked about last episode, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Not a lot of people know about that film,
Mhm.
and probably not a lot of people got the ending if they did see it.
Uh-huh.
But it's a Disney Pixar film, which is usually like their demographic is literally almost everybody, because they're a big company. So they have to
Yeah.
do like such cheesy things just to make sure that the message of the film always gets like said. That's why like I feel like that's what I have a whole rant that I can do about Western films and why I don't like them. But especially mainstream like Western films. But that's the biggest pattern I've seen, especially with films that are meant to be shown to everyone, is that hand holding has to be present, or else it won't do well. That's why like wasn't Captain Marvel something was something like that?
I didn't watch that one.
Oh, you know what?
I'm
Okay.
not sure.
If it
Like
was
basically
what?
Marvel films. Like Marvel films has so much hand holding that it's like that's why people don't like. That's why people like a lot of like film critics like start hating on Marvel films, because they had like the Marvel pattern or like the Marvel feel to it, where it's like it's the same shit all over again. But that's how you get money. That's how you get like all these people watching it, because it's so easy to digest. So
I think that's why I liked Logan a little bit more than like the other ones, because it's more like an art house movie than a Marvel movie.
Mhm.
oh, but it was
Like I
it was
knew
good, though.
from the first shot of him like dragging his feet that this was no ordinary Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
You don't remember that?
Well, it was a Fox movie, is what you're
Yeah.
getting. Is that
Yeah.
what you're
Yeah.
getting? No.
But yeah, it's not like a superhero.
Yeah, it's not
just
a-
superhero
no.
movie.
I know what you mean though.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because a lot of people who, like Logan is only liked by people who appreciate art house films. If you think about it, like if you showed it to someone normal, it's just be like, oh, it's another action movie. Oh,
Yeah.
it's great. Apparently, I don't know.
I recommended it to my uncle just because he likes action movies. I was like, this is a good action movie.
I saw pew pew. I'm good. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah.
What did you think about it?
My uncle watched Soul and he fell asleep because he's like, oh, there's no action in it. I was like,
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and I talked to my cousin. I was like, did you watch it in Spanish? He's like, yeah, it wasn't good because it was in Spanish. I was like, that's how I feel like the thing with anime, like a lot of people talk about, like you have to watch it in its original language or else it just feels weird.
No,
Like for the most part.
I don't
No?
think
You
that's
don't think
true.
so?
I don't think that's true.
I don't think it's always true, but I think a lot of times it can.
Well, sometimes the message gets lost in translation because like
Yeah.
you try to like I don't know. Well, from what my experience, I guess like I've watched I don't remember which anime film or like series. It's like I've rewatched it in dub, and the way they kind of like pushed like a certain situation or scenario or like message was just like, this isn't how I saw it or viewed it originally when I watched it in like Japanese. But
I mean, that makes sense, especially that I'm gonna bring out JoJo again because it's the fucking latest. It's the only example I can think of. Fucking the stand name for Josuke's stand is supposed to be Crazy Diamond, but in the dub it's called Shining Diamond, and literally all the other stand names have that kind of pattern where it's like they literally like Babyface is baby head, art like craft head is like arts and crafts or some bullshit like that. Like there, I understand like some like this like it's better to have the language where it came from, but there are good examples to where the localization team whoever was in charge actually did a pretty good job. I think I think Fairy Tale was actually a pretty good
the
one.
first part.
Boruto?
Not bad. Naruto.
Oh,
not bad for English, like dubbed.
Yeah.
I think, well, this is just my opinion, but like to truly appreciate like a film or like an anime series or like a foreign film that you like is to just watch both sides of it. Because I think I watched this one YouTube critic video or whatever once about I think it was one of the Ghibli films, how they kind of the American version of it or the Western version of it, they kind of filled in the gaps where it should have been you know, a moment for silent and like no, I forgot how they explained it, but basically they edited it to a way where like there wasn't that many silent gaps because us Americans, we're like awkwardness. It's too awkward for us to like watch a film that's kind of, you know, just too much silence.
They fucking re-edited a film just for localization.
For audio purposes, because like they know that Westerners aren't comfortable with silence or like
that should be a
something
crime,
along those lines.
dude. That should be a fucking crime. Oh
but
my
that's
God.
It was a movie review and I don't remember which film exactly, but it was a Ghibli film, and it's like very subtle. It's like not to your in your face, but like it's subtle, like just additions. Like they don't want the awkward silence to be too long for us to just kind of zone out, or like for us to lose, you know, to lose the audience.
Dude, that fucking sucks because especially like with Japanese media, they specialize in like those long awkward pauses because that's what makes it that's what holds impact to whatever they're trying to tell.
That's why I felt with like
a certain scene in a certain anime where two girls are standing in an elevator.
Evangelion? Is that
Evangelion?
Oh my God!
You know that like BoJack Horseman has a lot of like that silence, like awkwardness that I don't. Yeah, I would say that's a good example.
Do you not like that or what?
You know,
I like it.
I like BoJack.
Oh no, I like it. I like.
Yeah,
silence.
it was good because it made sense in the narrative. Right?
That happens in real life.
And then I'll link the video. I think it was this one that I watched.
I thought you weren't gonna do this in this episode. I
But
You know, I thought it was going to work into the soul review part of it. I was like, oh, it's worth living, even the small things, you know. Like, yeah. Admittedly, this part was kind of like abrupt, sneaky, but like,
fucker.
like
I would
I
say,
didn't
like-
even leave the conversation on this one, but here we are,
I was like, two girls?
two girls in an elevator,
I
just standing there quietly.
I think that's your best one so far. You motherfucker. I didn't expect that at all. God damn you.
I gave you a chance.
Fuck
I gave you a
off.
chance to call it out.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Mm, God damn it. All right.
is that it?
Yeah, I believe that's
I
it,
think that
lads.
was it.
I
Ooh.
think that's an episode. I think I think this might be our longest one so far because I see the timer and it's almost 2 hours. So we've talked about a lot of things in this episode. So
yeah.
all right. Well, if no one has any closing remarks, I'll go ahead and do the outro. Thank you for watching the Something Dumb podcast. If you enjoy it, subscribe to wherever you're listening to, and look forward to next week. Because what did we decide we're doing next week?
We'll be watching La La Land from 2018, is it? Or 2017?
Oh yeah, we're doing La La Land. Yeah, so look forward to next week as we do La La Land.
I believe Kim will be back for the next
Yes.
episode.
Oh, did you sign up for that one, Kim?
Yeah, Kim will be
Yep,
on the next
because
Alright.
I still need to watch it. I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of it's in high demand, that list for this one. A lot
Wait.
of people wanted to get in, but
Wait, wasn't
we were
that
chosen.
wasn't that our experiment
But
5-person
Kim
or
over here paid the
Yeah, that was our
premium
5-person
subscription.
experiment.
Who is
Nick's
gonna be-
Nick, me, Alino,
Everyone
you.
here.
Yeah, everyone here and Nick.
Okay. All right, for sure. All right, so that's an episode. Thanks for watching, and you know, catch us on the next one for our La La Land review. So, say bye, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.